The office and the role of the CIO has to change. It used to be, you were the CIO of no, and that was the way you protected it. You need to move into being the CIO of how. How do you embrace these new technologies? How do you embrace the empowerment of employees to be as productive as possible in these highly competitive marketplaces?
Now, how can a CIO prepare him or herself for that kind of a role?
Well, I think, historically, you saw kind of the CIO role fall into a couple different buckets. One is it reports to the CFO, which kind of signals to the organization that that organization gets viewed as being a cost measure, and so therefore it gets managed as a cost measure. Or the CIO reports to the CEO, and it has a set at the strategic conversation table. It's part of the conversation of using IT as a strategic asset for the organization. My personal belief, and when I was at Telejet, I had the benefit of reporting directly to Alex Mandel. Having that seat at that table is critically important from the standpoint of understanding how to leverage IT really as a competitive advantage, not just as a cost measure. And so therefore that really starts to drive a different kind of conversation.
What advice would you have for CIOs who feel like they're trapped into this role and not being able to play a full strategic role as other C-title people in an organization might be?
Well, the first thing is don't assume that someone's going to give you permission to act in a strategic role. You have to take the strategic bull by the horns and step into that role ahead of any kind of change within the organization. Waiting for an org change to happen before you start being strategic, you'll never make the transition. You need to start acting strategic now in the role you're in. Show the strategic value for the IT organization, and let that be, then the proof point for the rest of the management team. Secondly, get as much broad business experience within your organization. In some cases, I've actually advised CIOs rotate out of your CIO role into a senior leader role within your business somewhere else on a product side or on a marketing side, and broaden that experience base, because that best equips you to then be able to really bring value to that strategic conversation.